really itchy on my lip for some reason, but anyways, welcome to Lee Likes Music, the place to share, explore, and learn about rock music from Bandcamp. And in today's video, we're going to take a look at an album by Gem Jones. It's called Admiral Frenchkiss, so that's coming up. So there's been 3 years since this album right here was released. There's not much known about Gem Jones as an artist. He is quite underground. There's like no bio, there's no Facebook page, there's no nothing really. But I feel like what you need to know about this artist is it's very open to hear what type of an artist and maybe also personality he is by simply sitting down and spinning this record. This album is just so weird that it's good. I personally see a lot of geniusness in many of the songs on this album, but I have a fear that a lot of you guys who tune into this will probably just see this as a bunch of noise. Hopefully some of you guys will share the same viewpoint as I have about this album, but I have warned you, okay? This is not an album for everyone. I have quite an eclectic taste in music. I don't want to brag or anything, but that's just how it is. And sometimes I tend to go to these really weird places in obscure music. On this album you can expect to find lo-fi, quirky, genre-bending, noisy type of music that is filled with a sense of artistic freedom. And this is a sense of artistic freedom that you rarely find, because it seems like Gem Jones really just wanted to create whatever he wanted. He really didn't care about what he created. He just went about with his creative process, and it ended up being this really ironic, weird, noisy album that is just awesome. Since I don't have a background story about Gem Jones, like I don't have anything at all, so let's just jump right into the album review, okay? So Rock and Roll Dementia is the first song, and right off the bat we're introduced to this really quirky experimentalism that almost make me reminiscent of albums like The Mollusk by Ween or Mr. Bungle's self-titled album. It has that same ironic, humorous feel to it. In its essence, this song almost sounds like a 1950s and 60s pop rock song, but the vocals are so high-pitched, so whiny, so discordant and out of tune in a way, and it just sounds so ironic. This music is definitely not supposed to be taken 100% seriously. What makes this song and this whole album great is that it is based on two different things. It's based on the soundscapes, of course, but then it's also that humorous part that when you synthesize those parts, that is what makes this album great. The next song that I want to mention is called Ectomorphic Love, and this is more of a soul and R&B inspired song. It is quite slow, it's very sweet, it has this very easygoing melody to it that kind of lasts throughout the whole song, and then at the end of the song it just builds up to this massive cacophony of a noisy soundscape. I just love his whiny, choked out vocals, especially when he sings like Ectomorphic Love. There's just something about it that it brings out joy in me. It makes me laugh a little bit, and I don't know, just catchy in a way. The next track that I want to mention is called Shallow Rivers, and this is actually one of the shorter songs off of the album. I think it lasts a little bit over a minute or so. This is like a 1960s piano ballad that has been recreated by an alien on drugs with tentacles. There is a notable amount of hiss and noise on the song, but it really doesn't matter. The lo-fi is a portion of this album, of this of the song that I really don't care about at all, because the quirkiness, the weirdness, the mystery, and cadence of the song, it just overlaps it. It just puts that hiss and that lo-fi in the shadows. I love that sped up guitar part 1 minute in, or at least it sounds like a guitar, but it might be a synth or something else. It sounds so alien to me in a way, but I just love it. It's really psychedelic and kind of spaced out, and it's also just beautiful layering of melodies here. Now I'm just gonna jump over a few of the other songs here because I don't find them to be that notable, and I'm gonna discuss why a little bit later on. But Black Lantern is another song that stood out. Immediately when you put the song on, it jumps into this vicious encounter with so many different instruments at once. What is very notable, other than the jazzy avant-garde atmosphere of the song, is probably the piercing noise, the dynamic drums, and also the semi-funky and semi-discordant guitar. It all kind of comes together to create this strike between chaos and structure, jazz and noise. During the last 40 seconds of the song, we get induced by this sprinkle of fairy synth. There's this angelic synth coming in that really takes all that chaos that I talked about and makes it sound a little bit more harmless. Oh, man, this album is just so weird, and I'm coming up with weird explanations of what it sounds like, but that is the only way to explain this album. It's one of a kind. It actually reminds me a little bit of what Omar Rodriguez-Lopez did on his album Sworn Virgins. His vocals, sometimes he's very whiny. Gem Jones sounds very whiny and screechy and very high-pitched at times, but other times it comes with these roars and like sudden screams, like ah, like that. And that is something Omar Rodriguez-Lopez also did on some of his songs on that album, so it was like, whoa. One part or one section of the album that I don't like in particular is track number 5 and 6, Gas X Pigskin Loose. Yes, that's the name. It is actually so jarring and so disturbing to listen to because the lo-fi actually takes the center of attention in the song, and it's painful to listen to. And when you combine that with the low volume on Grimshock, plus just the non-direction that the song has, it doesn't have any direction, it doesn't go anywhere. Combine all of those pieces together and you have yourself a very easily skippable part of the album. Now, to sum up, I quite loved many of the tracks here. Some of the interludes were kind of good as well, but I feel like there were some tracks, like, for example, those that I just mentioned, that he could just take out, and he could have a shorter album, maybe just an EP, and he could have had a much stronger album. He could have improved his fidelity maybe slightly. It doesn't really affect me in a negative way, but I feel like it could have been sounding a little bit better if it actually was a bit more polished. I absolutely love the ironic nature of his songs. It's almost like he's making fun of this revival music that is so popular now in like rock and roll and R&B and jazz. If he could continue to do that and maybe select a few more better songs, this album would just be awesome. Nonetheless, I think that this is something that you should listen to if you're interested in checking out something that is really weird, quirky, on the lowbrow side of things. Go and check it out. Gem Jones, almost forgot the name of the album, Admiral Frenchkiss. I'm gonna give this one I'm laying between a 6 or a 7 out of 10, but I think it will be a 7 out of 10. 7. Thank you so much for watching. If you like to share, explore, and learn about rock music from Bandcamp, then I highly suggest you click the red subscribe button below. Also, make sure you hit the bell icon beside the subscribe button, because in that way, you'll always get notified when I upload new videos to this beautiful place right here. Damn, that was convincing. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hope to see you later. Stay tuned. Bye.